it's a plug-and-play environment and just start doing their research. The big gap here is not innovation and brilliant scientific ideas, it's the translation into scale-up. We need to be able to produce that in a reliable, repeatable way for many patients, and that's the big bottleneck right now.
Our coverage of Meeting on the Med in Rome is kindly sponsored by Cellares. I am Federico Cittrich, reporting for Onyx Live here in Rome at the Meeting on the Med. Today we took some time to talk with Marion Hitchcock, Managing Director of the GCT Incubator Berlin at Bayer. Marion, good morning. Thank you for staying with us.
Good morning. I'm the Managing Director of the Incubator in our upcoming Berlin Center for Gene and Cell Therapies, which is actually a joint venture between Bayer and the Charité University Hospital, which is the largest university hospital in Germany and one of the largest in Europe, and actually among the top 10 worldwide.
Marion, so what's the timeline for the incubator when it's going to operate?
Yeah, so this is a brand new infrastructure, so we're currently building it. It's under construction and the plant opening is early 2028. We have broken ground in September last year. Currently the concrete structure is going up, the core and shell, and then we have to do the interior fit out for a 10-story building, which takes some time, also bringing in the GMP facility. So we can start welcoming startup companies probably end of first quarter 2028.
And what role will it play in the broader GCT ecosystem? Yeah. Will it work at very early stages?
Yeah, so we really want to enable early innovators by providing an infrastructure, on the one hand side, an infrastructure that is cutting edge, and at the same time integrating research and manufacturing. So we have an incubator with 3 floors of fully fitted lab and office space that also has equipment where startups can just move in and it's a plug-and-play environment and just start doing their research. And then in the same building we have the GMP-certified manufacturing with also the experts on board. The idea is that the early innovators have direct access to both the technology as well as the expertise in this facility. So both components together are the Berlin Center for Gene and Cell Therapy. And the third very important component is access to experts. So we don't just want to give them rooms, we want to give them a fully embedded ecosystem with access to, they will have one-on-one mentors, but also experts that can give masterclasses, some educational components, and also a platform for connecting them to important players in the field, especially downstream where they usually are brilliant in their science, but they lack experience in the development and regulatory considerations.
When you're looking, and we'll look into early stage science, also to understand, the future prospects of that specific field or area.
The only frame is that it has to be either cell or gene therapy or something very closely related to that, because the field will develop. We're agnostic in terms of indication space, so it could be any indication. It could even be enabling technology like more production technology, increasing speed and production, reducing production costs.
At that stage, at early stage science, there's often also limited data availability. So how do you think you will work on that to think about, risk versus potential, for instance?
So the companies, we're not investing in them, so they need to bring their own funding, but we're trying to help them leverage that funding in a most efficient way and help them de-risk early. So also the access to technology, for example, in our labs, they will have access to high-price equipment that is offered in shared equipment labs, so they don't have to invest into high-price, high-capex equipment in the beginning. And the same with optimizing the process for GMP manufacturing. They will have the opportunity to work with the experts in our incubator. There will be a technology platform that is aligned with the manufacturing platform, so it can early on develop the processes that then will easily translate into scale-up and production.
You mentioned it, you're not investing directly on them. So how is your approach different to an investor actually working in the same area, let's say?
Approach is really to help investors to de-risk the innovation that they're investing in, so that the companies have the ideal environment to really develop and accelerate their asset. Yeah, and that will of course be helpful for the investors because they can have a higher probability of success and an earlier access to market and patients.
And we are here at the meeting on the Med in Rome. Have you seen any ideas coming from interesting early stage science that you particularly liked?
I mean, what was really impressive was this technology being developed by this company that is where the CEO is at the same time a patient advocate with the talk in the early morning yesterday. So this is of course very encouraging that you can bring, and then you need to make this, of course that needs to be a success for his own child, but that then needs to be multiplied and made into a platform that can also be used for other similar cases.
Do you think that's a field that's a potential innovation field, let's say?
Well, that is not bound to a certain technology field. I've also seen encouraging technology developments. I mean, the big gap here is not innovation and brilliant scientific ideas, it's the translation into scale-up, right? So we need to come to a place where we don't only treat on one heroic day one patient and cure them. This is of course amazing, but we need to be able to produce that in a reliable, repeatable way for many patients. And that's the big bottleneck right now. So that's where we're also trying to help as much as possible.
Marion, to finish off, I just wanted to zoom out a second and wanted to ask you, what do you think, how do you see the role of Big Pharma evolving in the field?
Yeah, I mean, so we just need to find a way to make this accessible, right? Like right now, it's just, it's still too difficult to scale to broad reach to a large patient population. So, and that of course makes it difficult for Big Pharma because it is a lot of costs involved in developing something that only has a very limited reach to patients. So it's also in the very interest of pharma to help with the scale up, which also has not only to do with the scientific innovation, but also with the manufacturing innovation, to be honest.
Marion, thank you very much for your insight and for staying with us.
Thank you.